Now I'm recording, and now it's going live to Facebook. There we go. Or not, it was going to Facebook, but I wasn't recording. So thank you, Dina. That's fantastic of you. Yeah, I completely forgot to do that. I got to leave a note for myself to remind myself. I guess I have to be light on Tony this week because now for 2 weeks in a row, Tony has forgot to start recording. You know, at the beginning of his show. So I'm now 1 for 3. I've actually remembered to do it once out of 3 times. So there you go. So thank you, Dina. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate the reminder there. So let me back up just a little bit then. So once again, I do want to thank everybody for being part of my class on Tuesday. Again, I was very honored that so many of you put your trust in me to teach a class, and so I thank you very much for that. I do apologize for the audio issues that some of you experienced. We did multiple exams or multiple tests of audio for that class. We did on Monday, Tony and I did a tech rehearsal on Monday, and then on Tuesday before the actual class, we did another tech rehearsal with myself and Tony and another person on the call to check it. And everybody was like, yeah, you sound fine. Everything's good. We're good to go. And then apparently, half of you responded with, yeah, I could hear you just fine. And the other half were like, dude, I couldn't hear you at all. And then what ended up happening was when I got the recording back from the class, oh yeah, it sounded like I was across the street teaching the class. I don't know what happened. So the good news is though, is that I was able to fix the audio. So what it was, I did it through a technique called layering, which basically what you do, I boosted the audio as much as I could boost within my own editing software to where it didn't affect the distortion levels and that kind of thing. Hello, Sherry Rankin. So I did that. And then what you do then is it's called layering. You put one layer of video on top, or audio in this case, on top of another. So basically you're just replicating the same audio over and over and over again on top of yourself. So basically it just goes over into it boosts the sound without distorting it, because you're just basically putting a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer. And so I was able to fix the audio that way. So it sounds, it should be fine now in the replay and in the recording level. So hello, Stephanie Marquardt, very nice to see you. And Susie Marrero, nice seeing you too. Say hi to Andres for me, by the way. So yeah, there's that. So I fixed the audio, so we're good to go as far as the class goes. Remember, if you enrolled in the class, the email blast that with all the replay information was sent to you on Friday. So again, if you do not see, we got to keep doing this, but at least for now. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Yes, Teresa, I did cut my hair. Thank God. Thank God. Yes, I did. And Philomena won't give the hat back. So there you go. So check your email address associated with PayPal. Check your spam folders. Please, dear God, check your spam, your bulk, your junk, your promotions folder. If you're on Gmail, please check the promotions folder. It is amazing how many people with Gmail, I did check it. It's not there. And then, oh, it just came in. No, it didn't. It's been there. Please look. And then just search for my email address, steve@floatconvention.com. And if you still can't find it, then of course I will send you a copy of my own. But please take that time to check it and find out. Tommy De Lorenzo, hey there. Teresa Harding, good to see you. By the way, for those of you watching at home, Teresa is going to have some very exciting photos for you tomorrow night in TMI, I'm sure. Because for those of you that watched last week's edition of TMI, Teresa started the Hats for Cats campaign for Roscoe for all kinds of exciting headgear. New photos will be shown tomorrow night, I'm sure, on TMI. So there you go. The other thing that I do need to remind you guys about with regard to spam folders, if you just take 1 second, and when you get to the email, if you find it in the spam folder and you mark it as not spam, that normally stops happening. but it is amazing how many people just, oh, there it is, and they grab it, and then they call me the next time. Steve, I never got the email. Oh, there it is. And then the next class, oh, Steve, I never got the email. Oh, there it is. And we just keep doing this. So you could save me a lot of grief and mark it as not spam, and that would be very helpful. So there's that. You have until Christmas, the day after Christmas, you have until December 26th to watch that video for free. After that, it's a digital download on the 27th. Okay, so take advantage of that opportunity and watch it now. That's number one. Number two, Robin Veach. Her class is this coming Tuesday. Her Valentine's Day decor class, her Valentine's design class is this coming Tuesday. If you have not signed up for that class yet, I cannot be more clear on this. You have until midnight tonight, my time. So you have basically 6 hours or so to sign up for this class. Sorry, Roscoe's actually moving around. I was waiting to see if he's going to come near the camera. See if I can tap the floor and see if he'll come over and actually make an appearance on Step Chat for the first time in weeks. At midnight tonight, this class is closed. And I mean what I'm saying. Many of you saw my post. Many of you saw my post in the group earlier this week. I mean what I'm saying, guys. It's time for me to be Mr. Hardball on this. I can't do this anymore. On Monday alone, I had over a dozen people. Steve, I forgot to sign up for the class. Steve, I forgot to sign up for the class. Please let me into the class. Please. We're done. Okay. And the biggest complaint that I have personally is that it was so many people that are doing it now every class. Like, look, I'll give you one exception. I'll let you do it one time and that's it. Okay, great, thank you. And then the next class. I know you said it was just one time, but please, please, please. Then you do it. And now it's every damn class. We're done. Okay? So the bottom line is very simple. If you want to take this class, if you want to get it for the least possible price you can pay, sign up for the class. If you miss the deadline, in 3 weeks, it'll be available as a digital download and you can watch it then and pay $50 to watch it. Okay? We can't, it really does screw this up horribly when everybody's trying to add on after the deadline, because the whole point is we try to send the eBlast out with enough time for everybody to get it and read it and review it and get certain. And this whole thing that we have to keep sending out updates and copies and everything else to people because they didn't get it, or not because they didn't get it, but because they didn't sign up in time, is problematic. If my only job was to run Float, then it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. And I would probably say, yeah, you have until noon, the day of the class or whatever it is. But I don't. And I can tell you right now, on Tuesday of this week, Alexa and I are going to be doing an install all morning on Tuesday. So there's no way in hell we're adding people, because I'm not even going to be here. We're going to be out of the building. We'll be back, plenty of time for the class, but we're going to do that. And the other thing we're going to start doing too, and I mean this sincerely, is we are going to start locking people down more during the classes. One of the problems that we've been having is a lot of people, like, I know that people have issues with getting logged in, and like sometimes their internet connection at home is bad or whatever, and I get it. But dear God, I've admitted the same person into classes sometimes a dozen times. That's excessive. And we're going to get to a point soon where, like, at 3:30 or whatever, the class is closed and you can't, we've got people logging in for the class at 3:45. Now, I understand that maybe you were at a job or you had this or that, and you're trying to catch the end of it. At some point, it does become a distraction. So we're just going to kind of cut off. But the other thing that we're going to do that I'm excited about for this particular class is we're actually going to use a slightly different system this time. We're still going to do it through Zoom. You're still going to call in through a Zoom connection number. But what's going to happen is our AV team from Float, Daryl and Beth, are actually going to do a different feed for us this time. So the great thing is you're not going to be able to hijack the screen, which makes a big deal to me, which means I still have to sit there and monitor, I think, everybody's audio. Oh, and that's something else that I got to share with everybody. And I mean this because I understand there's a lot of people that just don't understand how Zoom works and things like that. When you are in here, you are put on mute, okay? And you're muted for a reason, because that way we don't hear you, honey, would you please be quiet? I'm trying to watch this class. Or you don't hear your kids running through, or you don't hear you on the phone when you get a call during class or whatever. So, Christy, thank you. You hit that. Thank you so much. You hit that right on the head. So we put you on mute so that stuff doesn't come through, and so it doesn't hijack the camera. But when people couldn't hear me in class, they thought, oh, it's because I'm muted. So they would unmute themselves. That has nothing to do with volume control. That has nothing to do with what you're hearing, okay? So just for clarity's sake. I had one person who got very, very angry that people were shouting at them in the comments. And I'm like, they were shouting because you were overriding the feed because you kept unmuting yourself. But they were like, but I didn't understand. I thought that was affecting my volume. So we're trying to make everybody happy. But hopefully what will happen now is with this new system we have worked out with Daryl and them, we don't have to worry about it. Hopefully what will happen now is that, like I said, everybody calls in, then Daryl takes over. Daryl streams one person through to all of you guys, and then that's it. So there we go. And we would have done it with my class, but I wanted to give Daryl an opportunity to see how things have been running up to that point. The difference is normally I'm the tech guy running the class. Some things kind of fell through the cracks when I was in front of the camera this time. So I'm happy to say that that'll all be cleaned up, I hope. And now, mind you, Robin's class will be a test run and everything's fine, but I'm still very excited about it. So give us a better opportunity. So again, and as Christy was kind enough to mention, the number one comment I get from everybody is you just got to let me in. You just got to do it for me. The problem is it's not just you, it's everybody. And then the other problem is, like with my class in particular, we were giving away a free registration because we hit the numbers. If we don't hit the numbers, it doesn't matter if I let more people in or not. It just makes it harder on me. But if we've already hit the numbers and we set a deadline that this is the cutoff for the class, it is completely unfair to let more people in and therefore make the odds of somebody else winning less because you couldn't follow a timeline. So there's that too. And like I said, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying that's what we have to do from now on. So there you go. That's what we have to do from now on, basically, is do that. Now, as we talked about before, so once again, you've got about 5 hours and 45 minutes if you're going to get signed up for Robin's class. And once again, please do not message me at 11:59 at night asking me for the code. You are too late. Okay? We did get Dante. We announced last Sunday that our new instructor is Dante Longi, teaching a class on grids and walls and murals and that kind of fun stuff. Because a couple of you mentioned that you really have a hard time with grids and putting them together, and it was a very viable class option. It's one that we haven't done yet, and it's one that I personally took from Dante a couple of years ago here in Seattle that I enjoyed. Mind you, I hate working with grids, and I don't work with them. Thank God I have all my SDS. But I wanted a better understanding of grids, and after taking this class with Dante, I understood I didn't want to work with them anymore at all. That's why I use my SDS. But not everybody has that option. So there's that. But there's been some changes made, which some of you have already noticed. Okay, so let's talk about that. Yeah, see, Dory, there you go. Right, most people don't think about it. So let's talk about that. Change number one, if you look at the meme itself for Dante's class, it now clearly states the deadline that the class will be closed. And if you'll notice, it's no longer like midnight on a Sunday. It's now 5 p.m. Pacific time on a Sunday. So on January 10th, when I do step chat with everybody, and I'm telling you, Dante's class will be in 2 days, I'll be coming on live to tell you, hey guys, Dante's class is closed. It won't be you have 6 hours left to sign up. It'll be thanks to everyone who signed up, the class is now closed. Okay? So, and I did this for a reason. I did it because, again, I'm trying to get my stuff set up to where we can send it out to people expeditiously and correctly, and I'm not rushing to get things out. The last couple of email blasts that have gone out to people have had to include corrections. And that's because I was under pressure to get it rushed out because people were adding things and changing things at the last minute. It's not going to happen anymore. Okay. The second, hey, Suzette, how are you? The second thing that we did that's different this time is you'll notice that when you click on the button to register for Dante's class, you will no longer be on our own Float website. You'll be redirected to planetreg.com, which is the same system that we use to register for Float. Sorry, I had to get, since Roscoe is out and about, he's actually visiting the rabbit. For those of you that don't realize, this is happy hour for those two. They actually hang out for about an hour normally, right about now. So you'll be taken to planetreg.com. The reason for this is because of, well, of course it was silence. I learned better than to try to actually talk through this whole thing. No, I didn't say a word. I just turned the camera to show everybody Roscoe because of Teresa Harding's reaction right there. There you go. No, I knew better. If I talk, once I spin that microphone around, you don't hear me at all. So I just didn't say anything. So the reason we've done this is twofold. Okay, the reason that you're now directed to Planet Reg is twofold. Number one, with Planet Reg, we no longer have the email issue of, why are you sending it to an email address I haven't used in 10 years? You get to manually type in the email address that you want it sent to. So that's number one, because with our current website, you don't get that option. Number two, I have more control over when I can shut things down. The biggest problem with our existing website right now, with the Float website where it is like, for example, well, you know what, I don't need to talk about it. Let's just say I have more control over it. So this way, and like, you know, with Dante's class coming up, if people don't pay for the class, their information is saved, but they don't get registered, and it tells them it's you still have, you know, your payment's not complete, you can't get in this. I also have the ability to then just kick them out, and then they don't do it. When we did the pre-sale for Gabby's video, we did this. We went through planetreg.com, and 3 different people they never paid for it. They signed up for it, never paid for the video, and they got booted out. And then just the other day, somebody messaged me going, you know, I'm trying to make my payment for this and it's not letting me. I'm like, because you missed the deadline. That was a week ago. Oh, well, I thought I could. No, you knew better than this. It was promoted everywhere when the deadline was. No, sorry, it's done. So these are things we just have to do, guys. I'm sorry. It's, like I said, it's getting to the point where it is getting to the point where it is becoming really problematic that all of this extra work is being piled on, and we're not even in a Float year. So I am very well aware that I didn't have to take this work on. I'm very well aware that we didn't have to offer classes and all this other fun stuff. So I am well aware that I chose this path, right? But I can also take steps to lighten my own load. And so it means I'm going to have to start being kind of hard-nosed about some things, but you know, it is what it is. So, well, Dina, we are all adults, aren't we? Good grief. Yeah, you'd think. And Teresa Harding spotted the 37. We, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's absolutely becoming problematic. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, it doesn't show it. Sorry. Sorry about that. He went to the back, and I thought Teresa could get her shot of cat butt, but apparently the camera's too high to see him go by. Yeah, I went past the door. I see the playback now. It didn't work. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to make you dizzy. So that's the Float Foundation stuff going on right now. We don't have any. I was hoping by today we'd have another announcement to make about another teacher for January, but as of right now, we don't. If you have teacher suggestions that you would like us to consider, please let me know. Don't put them in the comments. Please don't put them in the comments. Lori Strauss, maybe we should start calling you Dad. No, but I wish just one woman would call me Daddy. COVID sucks. That's all I got to say. There we go. On a complete unprofessional note. See, I told you guys, I'm not the most professional person. I've said that before. Now, let's talk about Float, the actual convention coming up. I see a lot of laughter. I'm hoping that's from me, and not at me. Let's talk about Float. So yesterday, I took a couple of hours and I realized that I had not been doing a very good job of keeping up with my own kind of paperwork stuff. And like people have been paying invoices and we've been collecting money, but I haven't really been documenting anything anywhere. So I had to go through the PayPal account basically, and okay, this person's paid in full, this person's paid in full, this person's paid, whatever. But I also took advantage of that same opportunity and went through and sent messages to everybody as a reminder for your payment plan, the invoice that's remaining open. So yesterday, you should have gotten an email from me. If you have signed up for the payment plan and you have not completed your final payment for Float 2022, you got a reminder email yesterday. Now, I told you guys back in June, and I want to reiterate this. This payment plan system, or payment option, I should say, is not something I'm going to. Lori Strauss, was Robin's class through the Float website, didn't get a confirmation, might be the email issue. It probably is the email issue that you've experienced. Lori Strauss, can you text me when I get off the phone and we'll follow up on this to double check? But yeah, we'll check when I get off the phone or off the stream. This is not something I'm going to babysit you on. Basically, the bottom line is that I told everybody in June that I would send you a reminder by around the end of the year. We're in December. There's the reminder. You will probably get another reminder 3 months out from Float, the deadline of June 1st. A lot of you have a deadline of June 1st. Remember that. You'll get a 3-month reminder. You'll get a 2-month reminder. You'll get a 1-month reminder, and then you'll get a weekly reminder from that point on. And then the last couple of days, you'll probably get one every day. Just reminding you that, hey, you've got an invoice to pay, and if you don't pay it, because remember, basically how this works is, okay, Dory, thank you, Dory. 37, see the number right there? If you signed up through the 75 for 75 deal back in June of this past year, you get that discount price all the way until June 1st. If you are not paid in full by June 1st, your registration fee automatically increases to $5.99. You signed an agreement form on this. Remember that. So that's just all there is to it. Lori Strauss, that is way too many emails. You would think it's way too many emails. But this is why we stopped the payment plan in the first place. Because I promise you, we send the December email, we'll send a March, an April, a May 29th, a May 27th, a May 28th, a May 29th, a May 30th, and a June 1st. And I will still get the day after we send them an updated email with $5.99. You know what we'll get? I never heard a word. What do you mean what are you talking about? It's my deadline's up. Suddenly, that's the email they get? Yeah, no. So, there you go. It's amazing how many times we have to go through this stuff with people. It's really frustrating, to be honest with you. Lori Strauss, you're right. It's way too much extra work. And we used to, and yes, I am very well aware that there are like automated systems out there, right? That we could just sign you up for or make you sign up for. And every month it takes X amount out of your card or whatever. But let's be honest. When this plan was going on, COVID was in full effect. We were still dealing with the fact that everybody thought you could get COVID by looking at something with COVID on it, But as we learned with Andrea at Working Wonders this past Wednesday, that's not the case. Another shameless plug. But yeah, the reality is that I didn't want people to feel that obligated. I told people flat out, if we're going to do this and we're going to do it during COVID, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh God, I got to come up with $30 or he's going to put me in overdraft or whatever, right? So that's why we made it completely open. You just have a deadline. Look, again, as has been commented on here before, you are grown adults running businesses. If you don't pay your electric bill on time or your cell phone bill on time, they hit you with a late fee. Do you call them and complain about the late fee? Probably not. You just pay it. This late fee is going to be hefty. That's it. Now, the great thing about it is that if it does default, you go to $5.99. Now you got till like January 3rd to pay it off or whatever. So you got another 6 months. But the truth of the matter is, we sent those invoices out yesterday as reminders, and I think 5 people paid them yesterday and today. So yeah, it's not. In other words, there's a lot of people that just, oh, that's right, I have this thing to take care of. Boom, I paid it. It's done. I understand that not everybody's in that position, and I don't want everybody. I don't want you to feel pressured, but I will tell you right now that if I'm emailing you monthly and then weekly and then daily, you should feel some pressure. So, Andrea Marie, nice to see you. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. There's that. So yeah, we sent out a bunch of, as of right now, there's about 70 delegates that are fully paid and done for float. And then there's another 140 or 50 that are currently in the payment plan system. Why am I sharing this with you? Because remember, kids, we talked about this. If we have to enact float COVID policies at the convention in 2022, which I don't think we're going to have to, but if we do, we have to limit paid enrollment to 300 people. And we cannot, because we already have staff, sponsors, teachers, scholarship winners, all that kind of stuff. We've already got X amount of people reserved over here for this group. It ain't going to be, we can take 302. It ain't going to be, we can take 304 or whatever. No, it's going to be 300 and that's it. So if you want to get locked in and you want to absolutely be damn sure that your spot at float is reserved, it is advantageous to get paid right now. I did get another email yesterday from somebody who said, no, I don't, I'm going to wait till you put out the flotation pass before I pay for this. Please don't do that, because I've explained a couple times here on Step Chat, and I'll explain again. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the flotation pass is like an unlimited access pass to float. Your registration to float gets you X amount of access, but there are lots of other things that we do during the convention that are extras and therefore cost extra. Bonus classes, master classes, a notebook, things like that. With the flotation pass, you get all of it, and it's one big, humongous thing. And it's like $1,000, or this year it might even actually be more. But regardless, last year I think it was $950 is what it was, and this year I'm sure it'll be more. But my point is that if we do have to enact COVID policies afloat, it means that we have to regulate attendance in classrooms, which means you cannot just come and go whatever classroom you want. In other words, if a classroom is full, even though you have the flotation pass, you can't go in. You can't. It's a safety thing. So we're not going to sell flotation passes if we have to turn around and refund them later. Okay, it's just not a good idea to do. So yeah. So with that being said, that's the extent of that. So if you're waiting for the flotation pass to come out, don't. Get your invoice paid. Be done with it. The other factor why it could be a really good thing for you is if you, it is imperative, because if we do have to enact attendance restrictions in classrooms, it does mean that we will have to absolutely do pre-registration even for general classes. And if that happens, then it means we're going in sequence. We're going in sequence between when you paid in full. So the first people to pay in full or have paid in full will get first dibs on the classes they want. So if you wait until March or April of next year, I mean, again, there's already 60, 70 some people fully paid for float. That means there's 70 people in front of you already. Okay. So the longer you wait to pay off your balance, if we have to enact this policy, okay, if we have to enact this policy, that means there's already 70 people in front of you that will get to pick their classes before you do. And if we have to limit classroom sizes to, say, 50 people, which is a realistic thing, then theoretically, those 70 people could fill up the class you want before you even get a chance to sign up for it. So if you've ever gone to WBC, you know how this works. And if you're late to sign up and then you sign up for the, nope, full, pick another class. But I wanted that one. Sorry, full, pick another class. Because that's how they do it. They pre-enroll. I share it. Yeah, hopefully they'll open the borders by then. I really don't think it's going to be a problem. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be shocked if international travel has not resumed by May in this country. I really will. This whole weekend's been nothing but gloom and doom. The vaccine, not the news has all been like, oh, but there's massive shortages of the vaccine and blah, 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 blah. No, there isn't. That right now, remember, only one vaccine has been approved right now. And there's at least 3 in the United States that are currently being reviewed for emergency use. So right now, the quantities they have are based on 1 vaccine, not 3. So look, if there's one thing we've learned, and I don't care, and again, this isn't political. This isn't liberal media. It's not conservative media. It's not CSNBC or MSNBC. It's not Fox. It's all of them. If it bleeds, it leads. Okay, that's a true media statement if there's ever been one. And so the more they can scare you, the more they can keep you in fear, the more you'll tune in to watch the news. Okay, it's true. So, like, for example, let's talk, England. Tuesday, they approved emergency use of the vaccine, and they gave out thousands of vaccinations. But everything on the news on Wednesday and Thursday was nothing but 2 people had massive allergic reactions to the vaccine. And suddenly all these people are now running in fear and terrified that they're going to die from getting this vaccine. 2 people out of thousands of people. You see what I mean? You got to, everything that they give you, you have to take with a grain of salt. And that's, because again, it's all about ratings. It's all about dollar figures. And that, it's true. So, well, I'm sorry. It's my truth. So there you go. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me on that at all. But again, I did study communications in college. So I do know a little bit about how these things work behind the scenes. It is a proven fact that meteorologists, for example, if they're telling you there's going to be 3 to 5 inches of snow, in reality, there's going to be maybe 1 to 2 inches. But if they tell you that much more, you'll tune in to watch the weather, which will then sell advertising spots all the way through the show. And they can actually increase the rates that night because oh, we got bad weather. Rates are going to be more tonight. It's absolutely true. I'm telling you, it's absolutely true. Everything you feed to yourself will be true. So you need to stay in positive and happiness. Nathalie Ramascall, you're not wrong. That's a very good point. And we do. I'm just saying that you don't need to believe everything that, I'm not suggesting COVID's not real. I'm not suggesting that any of that stuff. I'm just saying that we need to take everything with a grain of salt right now. We need to absorb it. We don't need to absorb every single pound for pound of what's happening. Okay. And yes, the power of goodness is a big deal. And it's something that I've been touting a little bit myself. So I hope that it helps. Yeah. And as Raquel pointed out, they had previous medical situations. So it wasn't like the vaccine gave them a reaction. They had a reaction. They have reactions their whole lives. So it's, a thing. But I'm getting sidetracked. So yeah, so as far as that goes, some of you have been reaching out asking about the hotel and when can we start booking rooms. You will not be able to book rooms for the hotel until at least February, because that's the hotels, that's how they work. You can't normally book a room until at least 50 weeks before your actual event. So historically, like with St. Louis, we couldn't book, and that's hotel policy. It's not our venue, it's the entire company. So, we can't, it'll be in February. And keep in mind, Tabitha, thank you very much. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Thank you. Yeah, hotel bookings. But we are changing a policy this year, which is very imperative. And another reason why you need to get paid up as soon as possible. You will not be allowed to book a room at Float with the discount code until you are paid in full. That's all there is to it. If you are not paid in full, you will not be able to book a room, because we ran into this problem last year where well over half the rooms in our block were booked by people that weren't even coming to the convention. They were people that were hoping to come to the convention. And they gobbled up all of the rooms and the block was full. I mean, I was getting calls in June. And normally when that happens, see, like with our old hotel, we have X amount of rooms that are reserved every night. And if one of those nights is full, it kicks the entire reservation out. So then people call me, oh my God, the block is full. No, not in June. It's like one night. Let me call the hotel and find out what's up. Nope. It was full, completely full by June. It was a record for that hotel. They had never sold out a block for a convention that fast, ever. So on the one hand, I was like, yes. But on the other side, it was a whole new problem. And like I said before, we don't have a relationship with this new hotel like we did the old one. So we don't know what they're going to allow us to do as far as expansion goes. I think right now with COVID, they're going to be more than happy to let us expand because they need all the revenue they can get. But we don't know that. And so that's a thing. So anyway, you'll be able to start booking your rooms in February once we're allowed to, and once you're paid in full. Of course, sponsors will be allowed to book rooms, and of course our teachers will be able to, I'll be able to book my staff and all that fun stuff. So yeah. Yeah, if you're going to book a room, you're going to have to do it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a little bit, I'm actually concerned. Yeah, actually, it's funny, Tommy's, I'll work on Glenna. Actually, yeah, she's been texting me too. I've actually been texting with Glenna back and forth during COVID, which is really nice. So yeah, I have a feeling that they're gonna let us do it. I'm excited about that. But another issue that we're having though, believe it or not, is the I'm actually getting worried about the space. We have so much going on at the so for those of you that went to the famous Snowmageddon Twist and Shout of 2019, when it was in Chicago, that's the same hotel that our event is at. But Twist and Shout only used half of it. They only used half the convention space. We have all the convention space booked. And even then, now I'm looking at it going, oh crap, we don't know that we have enough room for everything that we're talking about doing. Now, the good news is there is an additional space in the hotel that we did not rent that is privately run. The hotel doesn't actually manage it. The restaurant does. And we could potentially rent that also. The only problem is that it's pricey. Yeah, Tommy's right. Tommy said there are so many huge ballrooms. There absolutely are, and we have filled them all. So the junior ballroom, which is all the way in the back, is our new vendor showcase. And we went from having 26 or 28 booths to having 46 booths. Technically, it's 40 because many of the booths are double booths for our manufacturer sponsors like Qualitex, Metallic, Anagram, Balloonia, Gemar, and Anagram. So really, it's 40, but because they get a double booth. But what we did not anticipate this year is we did not anticipate so many of our existing vendors wanting double booths in the new room. And so we started selling booths. In March. But I believe it was before March 30th, we had sold out of the entire vendor showcase. Now, many of you are thinking, well, that's good. It's not good because we have a lot of regular vendors who didn't buy a booth yet. Conwin, for example, doesn't have a booth yet. That's going to be a problem. If these hardcore vendors that have been at Float all these years don't have a booth, and it's not like I didn't ask them. It's not like I didn't tell them, hey, you got to get a booth. You got to get a booth. So what we are debating is getting this other ballroom space. If we rent the other ballroom space, we can now fit an additional 27 booths in that space. The problem is it's a big risk because the revenue that would be raised, the extra revenue, we would actually, believe it or not, end up losing. Because what would happen is a good chunk of it would go to the actual rental of that space. Then the other portion of it would go entirely to the purchasing of all the pipe and drape that we would need to create the booths. And I know what a lot of you are saying, well, why don't you just rent it, right? Just rent the pipe and drape. Well, believe it or not, it's the same price pretty much. We had a situation, in St. Louis, for example, when we originally, for those of you, the older Float members, you know that our trade show booths were normally just tables. It was really just table setup. We didn't have anything else. But I decided that we really needed to ramp up the convention and make it look better. So we decided to get pipe and drape and actually create a trade show, a formal looking trade show where vendors could feel like they have a designated space of their own and blah, blah, blah. And then we called around to different pipe and drape companies and they wanted, nearly 10 grand to do this job. And basically because, well, you want us to set the stuff at 6 a.m, or you want us to come in on Sunday and do it. And that's after hours. So that's subject to a much higher fee. And you want us to tear it down at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Well, that's after hours. So that's subject to a higher fee. And they wouldn't just rent us the pipe and drape. I'm like, look, we got an entire crew of people that are event people who know how to hook this stuff up and know how to do it. Nope, it's our equipment. Can't do it. We're not gonna let you do it. It turns out it cost a little bit more to buy all the pipe and drape, but now we own it. And so now we just put it back up and down every 2 years, up and down, up and down, up and down, and we've got it. The problem is, though, we already have to invest a considerable amount of cash in getting new pipe and drape for going from 28 booths or whatever to 46 booths, right? And now, if we do this, it also means we have to buy all the pipe and drape for the other booths in the other room. So and that's based on the fact that we sell all 27 booths. If we don't sell them all, right, there's a possibility that we won't. Because one of the other problems that we're going to run into is one of the other problems that we're seriously going to run into is right now, as it stands, all the manufacturers are in the junior ballroom, which is where we thought everybody was going to be. If we now have a secondary room, you're going to have vendors going, well, you're not putting me in that room. I want to be with the manufacturers. Well, we don't have any booths in there. Well, then I ain't coming. I mean, you're going to run into that. I'm going to play hardball. I'm going to get what I want, or I'm not going to do it. Well, then you're not going to do it unless somebody wants to move into that room, right? You could possibly do that. Now, I imagine what will probably happen is that I'm sure there'll be some shuffling. I'm sure some of the manufacturers will be like, hey, if I don't have to be in the room with all 5 of them, let's go over here. That may happen. I don't know. So we're on the fence as to whether or not we're going to expand the trade show or not. If we have to enact COVID policies, we don't have a choice. If we have to enact COVID policies, we will absolutely have to rent that other space, and then we'll have to split the booths up. So like we'll have to have like every other space a booth, and we won't be able to take any more vendors so we'll have to eat all that cost because we won't be able to. You can't safely do it according to COVID protocols. And as we talked about before, you'll have to actually, we'll have to sign you up for a time when you can go into the vendor showcase. So it's a thing. This COVID planning is fun. And don't forget, the COVID strategy will be released officially on Float Friday, which is January 22nd. Again, I need to remind everybody that this is not a lock. This is not a guarantee by no means. When we announce the protocol, this doesn't mean this is exactly what we're doing. It's just the steps we're taking to prepare in the event we have to. Okay. Like I said, from the way everything's going, I really don't think this is going to be a factor. I mean, everybody will still probably have to sign a waiver, and we'll probably still give out masks in the tote bags, but that I'm hoping will be the extent of our experience. But like I said, on January 22nd, we're going to release the full COVID protocol for Float 2022 in the event that we have to do it. And it's going to scare some people. Some people are going to be like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing? Again, worst case scenario, not necessarily what we're going to do. Okay. Okay, so I think I've covered pretty much everything I need to cover tonight. So let me take a few minutes to recap what I need to recap. And then if anybody's got questions, please, by all means, throw them out there in the comments. So if you took my class on Tuesday, thank you once again. And again, I do apologize for any audio experiences you may have had if they were bad, but I fixed them in post. And the replay is available now. The email blast was sent out on Friday. You have until December 26th. To watch the replay for free. Robin's class. The deadline is in just over 5 hours from now. Please, if you're going to sign up, make damn sure you sign up tonight, because I promise you, anybody who tries to sign up tomorrow will be rejected. It's just, we have to draw the line now. Too many people have pushed the envelope too far. So we have to be done. Dante's class registration is going on now for his January 12th class, which means we have now officially been promoting his class for over a month. There are no excuses for signing up late for Dante's class. So there you go. That'll be going on. And if you are a member of the Float Forum, if you have paid in full and you are a member of the Float Forum, the codes are in the forum. So you can go look that up right now, and they're right there. It doesn't make sense for me to message 90 some people. You're all eligible because you're all fully paid. Boom, there it is. So there you go. So go check that out. Again, Christy, I'm going to get to that. Thank you. If you still owe money as part of the 75 for 75 payment plan, you should have received a reminder email yesterday. This is not me nagging you. This is just me sending a reminder that, hey, don't forget about this. It's still out there. I haven't sent any reminders since we sent the initial invoice in June, but I'm already getting people saying, like a month ago, hey, where's my email? Can you resend me the email? Blah, blah, blah. I need to pay it. And then of course you resend it and they don't pay anything. So, it is what it is. And so I sent them out yesterday. And like I said, we have about 70 people or so right now that are fully paid for float. So that's good. That's a good thing. And then but again, remember that's important because number one, you must be pre-enrolled, you must be prepaid for float in full to get a hotel room booked in February. And secondly, if we have to enact a pre-registration policy, we're going in sequence. That was the whole reason what my documentation was to sit there and go through and actually chronologically list when people fully paid so we know what order to go in. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about tonight is something that several of you have asked about in the conversation already. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who reached out to me on my birthday. I guess I'm settled in now and I have accepted the fact that I am over 50. So I don't feel as 50 was bad. God, 50 was bad. 51 wasn't great. 52 was okay. Actually, I had a really good day, to be honest with you. We had to work all day. We had an Amazon install on Friday, so I spent what I wasn't doing inflation-wise for Amazon, I was doing video-wise, whether it was for my class to get it ready to stream or for the Float Network stuff that we're putting together. So I literally spent the whole time. Nathalie, that's very kind of you to say that I look 30, but that's because of poor pixelation on the screen. I will say though that I had a really, really nice day. Right now, working all day. We normally have to work all day on my birthday anyway, because it's in the middle of Christmas party season. And it was funny because even months ago I said, well, this is probably the first year I'm gonna have my birthday off. So to be honest, I was very thankful that I didn't have my birthday off. In fact, the best gift I could get was stability. So that was good. I received very nice presents from Alexa and from my parents, who conspired with Alexa to send me stuff. It was very, very funny. I warned my parents. My mother was like, what size shirt do you wear now? What size, pants do you wear? What size shoes do you wear? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you are not buying me shoes. I'm like, dear God, you know how parents are when they buy you clothes anyway, right? They normally suck. They don't send you stuff you necessarily want to wear. And I'm like, please, dear God, please do not send me shoes. Of all the things in the world, you don't need to send me shoes. I mean, I live in Chuck Taylor's, right? And I even joked, unless you're sending me Chucks, then it'd be fine. You can send me shoes. They sent me Chucks. So it was okay. They sent me actually a pair of Gore-Tex waterproof Chucks, which is fantastic, because the only complaint I have about Chuck Taylor's is when they wear down, when they start to wear out, the side rubber comes away from the sole of the shoe. And in Seattle, where it rains all the time, the moment my foot gets wet, I know, oh, it's time to swap these shoes out. They got me waterproof shoes, waterproof Chucks. So I'm very excited about that. But I also have to say that I also, no Vans. No, Christy, they did not buy me Vans. Lisa McIntyre, what size shirt do I wear? Oh, you know what? That brings up something else. Thank you, Lisa, for reminding me. Technically, I wear a large shirt now, but I prefer still extra large because I just like the roomier feel. I feel like I'm kind of in between, really. And lately, I've been bad. Lately, I've been bad on my food plan. I haven't been very good. In fact, because we were working, excuse me. Hey, speaking of lunch, since we had to work so much on my birthday, we decided to have my birthday dinner today. Alexa and I celebrated my birthday today with food, and we got Mexican. And boy, it was a big old Mexican spread with chicken fajitas and the whole bit. And I haven't eaten so much in such a long time, and I've been nauseous all day. Like I ate way too much. Raquel Porter, oh, the hyperbole, it doesn't rain all the time. I guess you're right. It rains 300 days a year in Seattle. That is a meteorological fact. I probably said that wrong anyway. A weather-based fact. Seattle, on average, experiences rain 300 days a year, which equates to 10 months. For most people, that's always raining. So there you go. But I gorged myself on chicken fajitas and queso dip, and oh my God, I've been stomach full all day. I've been very unhappy all day, to be honest with you. But damn, it was good. It was good. Need some Moscato. Oh, it's Moscato. It's Moscato, not Moscal. It's Moscato. Yes, Stephanie, it's fajitas. Yes. And actually, I am going to end the night tonight when I go home. I have a bottle of Moscato in the fridge at home, and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to enjoy a little bit of that too before I begin my food plan all over again tomorrow. So there we go. I don't want to get too lazy to the point where I don't want to put the weight back on. I really don't. I'm so much happier now. I don't want to put that, and I've been putting weight back on, so I want to make sure I get it under control. And since I now know how to do it, but that brings me to another. Okay, so and finally, let me finish this. The one thing, but the one thing that I am the most thankful for on my birthday, was the number of people who took time out of their day to message me, to call me, to text me, and not just like happy birthday, because as Lisa McIntyre likes to say, your birthday is also known as blow up your feed day. And you know how it is. It's so many people just copying and pasting happy birthday, and they're just literally going down the list of, and I hate to say it, this is one of the reasons why I don't normally do it on Facebook, because it seems like so many people just copy and paste happy birthday. I mean, I get the same happy birthday greetings from some people every stinking year. You know what I mean? It's like, after a while, it's like, it's noise. And so, but this year I got so many nice people who reached out and wanted to share their thoughts with me about our relationship. And like I said, if COVID has done anything for us, it has made us all far more appreciative of what we have in life. And so, and I got to spend a couple hours on the phone with some people that I really care about, and it was great, and I really enjoyed it, and it was just a really nice day in general. So thank you for asking. Really appreciate it. Now, one thing that that's right. So I'm going to end on this note. Several years ago, Float had something in effect. We did something. I've always been, well, for the last decade or so, I've been overweight, until recently. I didn't realize how badly until I saw pictures of myself after. I was like, holy good. But one of the things that we did, one of the earlier floats, we did something called Fit for Float. And we actually created a group of people that wanted to lose weight and get in shape in time for the float convention. I think we should bring that back. I think it was fun. It unfortunately, I will say, it died out because it got really hostile at one point. One individual got really, really aggressive in this group, and it was so unnecessary because people were just trying to re-encourage each other and reinforce positive things and blah blah blah. And then this one person just got in. You're crazy if you think this is going to work. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, what? So, but I'm thinking about bringing it back. I'm thinking about reinstating Fit for Float, and I thought maybe that might be something fun that we can do. And again, keep in mind, Yeah, okay, I want to drop a few more pounds again, but thankfully, thanks to the example set by Lisa McIntyre and her amazing program, I know I can. I know that at any given moment I can say, boom, I'm ready to go now. Let's do it. And which is what I'm gonna try and do tomorrow because that's why I'm drinking tonight. So um, so I can get, but that doesn't mean that I like the way I look, right? It means I've lost weight and I feel better, but I'm not super happy with, you know, muscle tone and everything else. So, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can look at this as, hey, we're going to do this to lose weight, or you can look at this as, hey, I'm going to get in shape. Um, so I'm really thinking about bringing this back. So if you're interested in being part of this, I'll make a post in the group tomorrow about this, and let's see what the feedback is, kind of a thing. Yeah, Lisa, you're right. Accountability partners are a big deal. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. And maybe that's something that can become part of one of our regular programs. Hint, hint. Just saying. Um, but once again, guys, it's 7 o'clock. I've kept you here long enough. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Um, I cannot lie to you. I cannot, and I'm gonna be. You guys are amazing. You guys have absolutely been amazing. I can't tell you how much I have benefited personally from you guys through all of this. Um, you guys have just been absolutely amazing. You've been so supportive. You've been so positive. You've been so inspirational in so many ways. You really, really have. And we don't realize sometimes how much of an effect we have on people. And that was one of the nice things about my birthday, is that a couple people reached out and felt like they could tell me things, and things that have I've impacted their life. And it was incredibly heartwarming. And it reminds you of things you just don't think about. When we deliver balloons to people, it's hard for us to sometimes differentiate work from the joy that they get, you know and we really underestimated the power of what we can do. And I think, like the 1 Million Bubbles project really demonstrated the power that we have. And it was just, but again, it works both ways. You guys have been so incredibly supportive of me, and I have made so many. I think what's amazing is, Nathalie, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Um, I I have made some wonderful new friends during this whole thing. Um, some of you guys, I don't know. I can't see my life without you guys now. It's phenomenal, and you guys are just amazing. So no matter what ever happens to you, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and especially with Christmas coming, not everybody has somebody. I had to spend Thanksgiving completely alone because I was afraid of. You remember, I was exposed potentially to. Well, I don't know that I was exposed to COVID or not, but I was exposed to somebody that breathed right in my face and didn't have a mask on, and I wasn't wearing a mask at the time either. Dumbass. Um, and as a result, I could not. Normally, Alexa would have me come over to her apartment for Thanksgiving, so I'm not by myself. So I spent Thanksgiving completely alone, and it was not a pleasant experience. And and Christmas is coming, right? And so I'm being very careful not to get myself stupidly exposed to some stupid woman breathing on me. But so I won't be by myself entirely this Christmas, because at some point I'm sure Alexa will invite me over or whatever, and we'll exchange gifts or whatever, and I'll play with her cat, and we'll watch a Snoopy special or something, and there you go, that's it. But but I don't want any of you to feel like you're alone. You're not. You're not alone. And I want you all to realize that if you need somebody, I'm here. You've got me. Okay. My phone number is public information because it's our business number. So if you feel the need to, wow, this is so cool. Thank you guys. This is very nice of you all to say. Thank you. If you if you need somebody, the Balloon Designer's phone number is right here. So pick up the phone. You're not by yourself. You're not. Okay. Remember that. Somebody asked about, somebody asked about an update for Marissa Matthews. I did get a text from her finally the other night. Her surgery was on December 9th. I got a text message from her, I believe Friday, that she was good, but she was in a lot of pain. But she was thoroughly, absolutely enjoying the cards and letters that people sent her. And that meant the world to her. So thank you all very much for that. That was very kind of you guys to do that. I haven't had much of a chance to talk to her beyond that, other than just, you know, a couple of texts back and forth, but that's really about it. But yeah, so, and I know that her sister's been handling all the business side of things right now. In fact, she's, you know, the sister's messaged me a few times this week for classes and things. So there you go. But I do know that she's doing okay. So that's good. Okay. Other than that, don't forget, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time is TMI with the one and only Teresa Harding. I'm very excited to find out who her 3 Minutes with T interview is going to be this week. Tuesday night, get in on the fun. You can be invited. You are invited. Get in with Tuesdays with Tony. He's going to post the link here in the Float group. You can be on the live call with everybody else. Tony's got all kinds of fun in store for us Tuesday nights. Always a blast. Have a really good time with that. Wednesday night, our brand new show, The Ladies of Float with Working Wonders. I'm so happy with the direction the show is going. I'm really excited to see where these four go. Lisa McIntyre, Stephanie Marquardt. Did I say that right? I know I always butcher it. Is it Marquardt? Is that it? I can't remember. Don't kill me, please. And Debbie Levy and Ronnie Johnson, the four fabulous ladies afloat. They're going to be doing another session this week. I believe it's on branding, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm loving the way this show is going to go. I think it's going to be great. Once they get their rhythm going, I think it's going to be fantastic. And don't forget, every Friday we post the Float Buffet, which is the sampling of all the shows that took place during the week. So if you missed one, you can catch a highlight reel, so to speak, on the Float Buffet. That's posted every Friday afternoon or evening, whichever I get around to it. Christy, yes, you should. You should get on the call. Be on the call Tuesday night. You'll have a good time. It's really fun. You'll really enjoy it. And remember, everybody's invited to Tony's call. It's funny because I've had people be like, "Oh, no one ever told me I could get on." Everybody can get on the call. Use the link. It's in the group. Be there. Okay. Dania, that's very kind of you to say. That's very nice of you to say. Is it? Now, see, here I go. Is it Dania or Dania? I'm assuming it's Dania. Dania Alvarez is a brand new member of the Float family who is coming to Float for the first time this coming year. Very excited to have her. One of our sponsors, Saskia Huertes, purchased a registration to give away as a prize, and Dania was the prize winner. So she's coming for the very first time, and we're really excited to have her join us. So there you go. Yeah, I think, and Dania, there you go. Consider yourself invited Tuesday night to be on the live call with Tony. You'll have a good time. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a little different, but it's fun. So there you go. Yes, especially when they give you nicknames. Yes. 3 words. Well, 2 words, but I'm not going to say what it is now. All right. So with that being said, thank you all very much. You guys have a great night. If you missed any of this, obviously the live replay will be in the Float group anytime you want to watch it. And I'll clean it up and post it on our YouTube channel within the next day or so. So thank you. In the meantime, be safe, be profitable, be good to people, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.